Good morning, everyone. My name is Souders, and I'm Forever Branded. And we are all here today as part of the Equus Festival Mustang Summit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I'm honored to be on this panel with some amazing Mustang people that we know and that are all adopters and that have Mustangs. And so we're here to help inform you a little bit about something new coming in and some of the new foundations and new training methods that we all have. Forever Branded has been started about 14 months, and we're a foundation. We just received the announcement that we were granted the grant from the Bureau of Land Management, and we are partners, and we will be starting a program called Branded Partnership. And it is similar to some old ones, but it's all new and fresh. And I'm going to let Matt tell you a little bit about that in a minute. We will have branded partnerships. We will have branded adoption centers. Everything will be new and fresh. Nothing is grandfathered in. And we are excited to start this new journey and get on our way and get more Mustangs adopted out of these holding pens. So hang on tight. You're in for a fun day of information. And we have a great panel for you. I'm going to introduce you here to Matt Zimmerman.
Hello, my name is Matt Zimmerman, and I'm from Forever Branded as well, and I'm the Adoption and Training Director. So what we're trying to do is get as many Mustangs into long-term homes, private long-term homes. So basically, we got several different programs, and Ann kind of touched base on it. We're going to be doing the branded adoption centers where we have facilities that can facilitate, several large amounts of horses, and people can come and adopt from those facilities as well. And and then we're going to have also events called branded bonanzas. We've hosted a few of those in the past, and they're just training events. And we're going to have in-hand events, yearling horses. We're also going to have adult horses, and then we're also going to have burros and adult and youth classes, and we also have riding classes. So the purpose of this is to get these horses really gentle so that they stay in private care and they can have successful adoption. So the branded adoption centers are going to be located all across the U.S. and so we can ship, the BLM is going to be able to ship these horses to these places, and hopefully we can get really good adoption centers to the point where these animals can find really good trainers, and I don't know, we're just really looking forward to this program as well. So that one's going to be interesting. We're going to be doing some more requirements that are going to, these people are going to have to meet to the point where I'm kind of stumbling today, but so
earlier in the morning.
Yeah,
it is early.
I haven't had any yeah. Anyway, so we're just going to have a little tougher requirements, and then branded partners are going to be where the trainers come in. We're going to have the trainers come in, and they're going to take these horses and get them to the point where they're leading, loading, picking up feet, tying, and they're gentle that way. And so that's going to be one of our other good requirements these people are going to have. So then, yes, Ann.
Well, people can find out any information they want on our website, foreverbranded.org, our Facebook page, Instagram, and everybody will have their own place for you to go to find out for more information about the Mustangs, and you will not have any trouble finding out what you need to know to adopt a Mustang, to get help with training. We're all here today to help you, and we all know people, hopefully in your area, that can help you do that. And so, I'll turn it back over down here.
Okay. I'll let Matt go, and I'll come back and we'll cover some of these bases. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Matt Manroe, and I'm Executive Director of a nonprofit called Mustang Champions. We have existed now for about 2 years. We are working in partnership with BLM Wild Horse and Burro program to help educate Americans about our horses. If you pay taxes to the government, you own a horse, and you may not realize that. And you need to learn more about your horses. We are also about helping to create competitions to help get horses that have been gathered and are in government holding, help get them adopted or purchased through competitions. So we received a grant to do 2 programs. One is called the Wild Horse Experience. We have 5 educational kiosks that we ship across the United States with data and stats and information to help educate everyone about our horses. But also we have a VR headset experience where you can literally stand with horses. They literally approach you through virtual reality. Last year, I believe we attended 32 events with the program, and it's just a great way for the Wild Horse and Burro program staff to connect with Americans, answer questions, really help people understand more, as I say, about the American Mustang. The other program we have created and produced 2 new national Mustang competitions. One is Western Discipline, one is English Discipline. The Western Discipline competition was and will be at South Point Arena in Las Vegas. It is $50,000 to the winner. We are trying to get people to come in and compete with Mustangs that maybe wouldn't normally. We are trying to elevate the status of the Mustang by putting them in premier venues. So trying to let people compete in venues that might be kind of bucket list venues in order to showcase Mustangs at their highest level. The English Discipline competition was in Willeg Stadium at the Kentucky Horse Park in Lexington, Kentucky. It will again be there next September. It is the first of its kind English Discipline competition, and there, I believe, a lot of pent-up demand, particularly on the East Coast of the United States, for Mustangs to compete with in English Discipline. We have a lot of people that do dressage, do show jumping, do eventing, that adopted Mustangs and competed, and we've really gotten a lot of positive response that competition now exists. So if you are interested at all to compete, you can start adopting your Mustang or purchasing your Mustang now. The adoption window in order to compete in 2025 is October 1 to April 15th, 2025. So go get your competition Mustang. You do not have to be the trainer or owner of the Mustang in order to exhibit the Mustang. So that's something that we're doing that's a little bit different. We're trying to give people absolutely as much time as possible to train their Mustang for these competitions. We are asking people to possibly improve your training techniques by watching curriculum or having support available in order to improve your riding techniques or training techniques. And there's a little test you have to take online in order to kind of prove that your training level is at a certain level. We are also requiring people to compete with their horse before coming to our championships. We don't want first-time in arena Mustangs. We want every Mustang that comes and competes with us to really be at its highest show level. So we're really trying to do things differently with our 2 competitions. Again, draw people in that might not normally be in the Mustang community yet, like we have all been. It is a different group of people. I think we can all testify to that. So come join us, come compete, and watch for our education program around the United States and the event that you might be at. Okay.
Can you hear me? Is it on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got to push it? Is that working? Mm-hmm. Okay. So my name is Espinoza, and this is my husband Isidro Espinoza. Together we run Isidro Espinoza Horsemanship out of northern Arizona. And we are on a different path on filling what we see needs in the Mustang community. Our main focus is education. We have built, I believe, the largest Mustang video training library online currently. We've been building that for quite a few years, particularly where we chronicle horses trained from the very beginning all the way to under saddle going home. We have also developed a program that we call the Heart Mustang program, and the need for that is so many people are wanting really well-trained Mustangs that can go to your average horse owner. They can just start riding and working with them. And the time frame that takes is quite a bit longer than the programs that are currently out there. It takes us usually a minimum of 12 months to train one of those Heart Mustangs at our lowest level. And instead of trying to meet a time frame, they have to meet a criterion before they can go home to their people. We also match those horses to people. Instead of someone picking a Mustang out on their own, we use our expertise and education to select Mustangs out of holding in different situations, and then get to know them, and then we can match them to a person. That has been quite successful. We've been running that program for a couple of years now, and not a single one of our Heart Mustangs has changed homes. They are still in their original home. People are really happy with their green horses, and they're thriving. So we are hoping that other trainers will adopt this modality of training and selling Mustangs, because it is equally profitable for the trainer as well as beneficial to someone trying to buy a horse. It's a different way to buy horses, where there's a lot of support and education involved, as opposed to you bought a horse, you're on your own. So we're trying to do away with that kind of horse trader mentality, and this is a more personalized, involved way of finding homes for horses, and especially Mustangs. The other thing that we do is we like to mentor young trainers. Our belief is if we can help more young people become Mustang trainers, that's more Mustangs that get out of holding and get trained and get the permanent homes. It is a skill set, and we have more trainers that can do that and be supportive, and to help people that are getting Mustangs, then that's just better for Mustangs. So we can only do that on a small scale, but we're hoping that, as we kind of delve into these new endeavors and we make all the mistakes and figure out the best way to do things, that other trainers will kind of learn from us and adopt those modalities. Something else that we, do I have to hold that, or does it work without me holding that? Because it's really hard to hold that. Okay, good. Oh, my thumb hurts. Another thing that we're trying to do, or I shouldn't say we're starting to do, is we are doing online courses, gentleman courses, training courses, where we help you as you're going through the course with your horse. We do live video, we help you one-on-one, all virtually, to kind of help you move along the training process. And I think that type of support is really needed for people, especially if they're kind of lost, or it's really hard to just watch a video and then go out and do it. If you're feeling support, you have certain goals and certain timelines that you have to meet, you're more motivated. So we're trying to roll that out as well. There's a lot of education out there, but there's not a lot of education out there that is really specific to Mustangs on a large scale. So we're really trying to figure out how to do that and bring it to people, and we are so passionate about it. So I'm going to pass the mic to my husband. He's always the one that kind of silently sits over there, because his first language is Spanish, so I'm going to let him speak to you about Mustangs a little bit and what we do in Spanish.
Soy
Put it to your mouth. Closer.
Isidro Espinoza.
We cannot hear you, Ben. We're going to get closer. Here, right here.
More?
There you go. There you go.
Soy Isidro Espinoza, ella es Espinoza, mi esposa. Venimos de la Arizona, aquí en Albuquerque, Nuevo México, para informarles que aquí estamos en este grupo de otros Mustang, y queremos informarles para la nueva generación de los jóvenes que quieren comenzar con los caballos, que entren a este programa, o están todos en todas las plataformas, están en Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Para si quieren más información, nosotros podemos apoyarlos, porque tenemos muchos también, si quieren, como que quieren empezar, tenemos muchos videos para que puedan empezarlos, no hay mucho, y si quieren también por videollamadas, también podemos ayudarles, tenemos mucha información para ellos.
So thankfully you reminded me of something, listening to him, is that, so you can find us at Isidro Espinoza horsemanship.com. We also have a very small sanctuary that we run. It's called Dos Lomos Wild Ranch, and we take in horses that don't have anywhere else to go, as well as people that don't know what to do with their wild horse and are stuck and are no longer able to keep it. We can help retrain those horses and then place them in homes. So we kind of do that on the side. We're completely privately funded, but that is another thing that we do as well. But yeah, that's where you can find us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and we have a lot of YouTube videos. So thank you.
So I want to encourage you to get engaged with a Mustang. Come work with any of these groups. In our case, please come compete. Come to the Mustang Challenge or the Mustang Classic and compete for a top prize of $50,000. Challenge you to do that. For more information, go to mustangchampions.org or one of our competition websites. So come compete.
I have a question for Forever Branded. I want to know, I'm interested about your work with the Extreme Cowboy Association, because I've done one of those competitions in the past, and I want to know a little bit more about that. And one of the issues that we had is that the adopter had to be the one that competed that horse. And I want to know if you're going to be like the champions, where anybody, as long as it's adopted within a time frame, and if that's their goal is to do it like in the past year, or if it's just, because like I personally don't want to compete against some of those really experienced Mustangs in there, so I'm just kind of curious about that.
Yes, and all the tweaking hasn't been finalized yet, but it's going to be similar to what it's been in the past. There'll be an open Mustang class where you can bring your past Mustangs in and compete, but there's also going to be a green Mustang class. And you'll have it to start from January 1st, you can adopt it. And then you compete. And you don't have to be the trainer. You can be the adopter or the trainer or either one. Our goal is to get these Mustangs adopted. And as you know, with Extreme Cowboy Race, they need as much time as possible.
Yeah.
If we could do it now, we would do it, let them start adopting now, but we haven't got all that finalized. So that's what's going to happen, and they'll be classed in their own class. Then we also give out high point awards to whoever rides a Mustang in the other classes of EXCA. The high point Mustang also will receive awards. So that helps get people, because there's other people who have Mustangs they've had in a while, and they compete in the different divisions. And so that high point Mustang will also get an award in each class. So we all want you to use your Mustangs. Get out there and ride, whether it's through Mustang Champions, whether it's through Forever Branded or Branded Bonanza, over there with Amber and Isidro, anything you can do, we want you to use these Mustangs and experience them. We have over 73,000 in the wild right now. And you own all these. You help pay tax dollars to help feed the ones that are in holding. There's over 55,000 in holding, which that's what we're here about. We're trying to get those Mustangs into good homes. And I kind of think the Mustangs are a little bit like our kids. They're what we put into them. And you have stinkers, and you have good ones, and you have athletic ones, and you have a little bit lazy ones, and you have pretty ones, and you have pretty ones inside. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help everybody go find the experience, this amazing partnership you can have with a Mustang. And now, I find a lot of people my age wanting to do this, and they might not want to ride their Mustang, but now we have plenty of things we can do in hand. We have Liberty, and all of these people and all of these groups know about these disciplines that you can do by adopting a wild Mustang. So that's what we want you to do. We want all of you to get involved and be able to share this amazing journey that we've all shared. Because I can tell you, it will change your life. Everybody here will tell you that. It's life-changing when you earn the trust of a wild animal. So we all have a passion for it, and I'm so proud of each and every person here and what they're doing to help you. And I guess we can open up questions if anybody has any questions for us today.
I have another question.
Okay.
Are any of your programs, are any of you thinking about doing like open Mustang type shows for people to bring the Mustangs they've already had and trained? Is that in any kind of plan or anything like that?
All of our brand bonanzas have open shows. And people bring their Mustangs back. And then last year, we even had some people that competed in the brand bonanza, competed in the open show with their horse. They'd already gotten a step farther. But we will have that. And we're trying to add some more disciplines, maybe add a little bit of English in some of ours to help some of your people because they need to compete in something before they compete at your show. So it's all working together and trying to do our best. And if any of y'all have anything you would like to see or try, we'd love to know because we're trying to start out fresh and new and do things and get them done better and dot all the I's and cross the T's to help our trainers. So.
Okay. Well, I think everybody up here is basically trying to get all of these Mustangs into homes and have them be as successful as they can. So, you know, branded bonanzas are going to be events where we can actually get that done. And, you know, we will have, like Amber's looking forward to open shows, and we'll have the other classes, like I said, started to say earlier, the youth burros, the adult burros, the youth Mustangs, the adult Mustangs, and then we'll have a rival division as well. And we have the branded bonanza that we ran last year is in Nampa, Idaho, and this year it's going to be 4th of July weekend as well, and we're also looking at hosting another one in East Texas in September. So we're just trying to finalize all of that stuff as well. So that'll be another option for people that, because Nampa, Idaho is pretty far west. You know, if somebody wants to compete in a branded bonanza, we can hopefully get this one set up and dialed in for September over in East Texas. And you know, we've kind of changed some of the requirements. You know, instead of having the Mustang just 10 days, we've extended it out to the point where it's 30, and then the adopter's going to have like a 30-day grace period where if something's not working out, they can take that Mustang back to the branded partner and then get help and try to fix that to the point where the horse actually stays in private care. So some of these trainers in the past, you know, they haven't really got the job done, gotten as gentle as they need to be. So we're trying to minimize that, and we're trying to increase the successful adoptions of all of these Mustangs via that branded partnership. So branded partners can come pick out Mustangs from branded adoption centers at the only facilities or whatever, and then they take them home, gentle them up, getting them to the point where they can lead low, take their feet up high, and get them essentially really gentle and easily handleable. So that's what that whole program is really trying to do. And so I think it'll be a pretty good success. We actually started October 1st, our Forever Branded organization. So we're kind of new. We're finalizing our guidebook. So once the guidebook is finalized, and hopefully by January, we'll be rolling down the road and adopting Mustangs and putting on events and having as much success as we can possibly have. So I encourage you, like Ann said, I encourage you to adopt a Mustang. I encourage you to compete in some of these events. I encourage you to go look at some of Amber and Isidro's videos. And we were also talking about figuring out a way to help trainers, because when I first started, I didn't have any resources. It was just what my dad knew, my grandpa knew, my uncle knew. So if we can go figure out some methods from some successful Mustang trainers and get some video of them, we can start to create a library, kind of like what they've done, but we'll create a library of different trainers across the country that have had success, and whether it be just in hand, some of these trainers do really well in hand, and some of these other trainers do well to the point where they can actually get them going in hand, and then they transfer right over into the saddle training room as well. So that's what we're working on, all sorts of different things to kind of make everything better, and so we're just on the way, and the wheel is starting to turn. So thanks for listening to us. If you have any questions, feel free to fire them out, and we can answer them as we can.
Are y'all doing another panel tomorrow?
No.
No? Okay, so this is the last one. Okay.
Are there online questions? People get to ask questions online?
I haven't seen any yet. And I just started to go live, so.
And I'm live now, but I have a question, and I don't want it to be a huge, long thing, but all of you are so connected to Mustangs. I'd like to hear just either why that draw happened for you, and the Mustang, your heart Mustang, maybe. I know one already. But, or maybe just a success story from somebody that you know, maybe one of your students, or maybe just something that stands out to you as a special Mustang moment.
Why don't we go end to end?
This addiction, when you go to the Mustang, you get the addiction level. But the moment you have contact with the horses,
Closer, Cedar.
the moment you have contact with the horses, you feel better. They are also really faster.
Is there a special one for you that's the first one you trained, or the first one you had, or a special one? All?
For me, the same.
Understandable.
I got into Mustangs because I wanted to see if I could do it. Like that was the only interest. To me that's the epitome at that time, was the epitome of being able to train, that kind of challenge of what I thought I knew as a trainer. And what I learned is I knew nothing. I adopted my first Mustang in 2009. I made every possible mistake. Thank goodness he's very forgiving. But there was not really any information out there that I could learn from, other than I'd watched all of Monty Roberts' stuff. I watched, I think Clinton Anderson at that time had some training on a Mustang that he had general, two very different approaches. And so I just tried everything that I could. But the connection that I had with that horse, the pure, mutilated, just natural, that's what a horse is like. You know, humans hadn't messed with it. Humans hadn't messed it up. They're just so completely pure. They are exactly who they are. And the way that they will express to you how they are feeling, it's just the honesty in it. And once they bonded to you, and that's sort of like, I felt so safe because I feel like I was part of their family. And every time I do that and I get that bond, it is incredibly addicting, which is what Isidro was saying. And I don't think I could ever partner with a domestic horse again after doing this. So.
Yeah, they just connect with you differently. I used to, as a teenager, we would get horses off the track, thoroughbreds, and we'd train them to jump. And that was my experience. And I was I wanted to be in control. I wanted that horse to do what I wanted it to do when I wanted it to do it. My daughter and I adopted 2 yearling Mustangs 12 years ago. She competed with them in a event called Mustang Million. And that was really my first time to be around the Mustang community and watch people compete with Mustangs. And now that they are 12 years old and my daughter is grown and I have 2 Mustangs that I take care of daily, they connect with you and like a domestic horse. It's just a very different experience.
I guess my connection, I grew up at a ranch in Nevada, and on that ranch there was always wild Mustangs around, so they were always around. You know, we actually.
Were they pests?
They were pests because they were, they were on the cattle lot. I always looked at them. I always loved seeing wild horses. So I grew up right in the middle of them. But then in 2008, I saw an ad in the Western Horseman, and it was a adopted Mustang, 100 days to compete. So I threw myself into the challenge and ended up going to Sacramento, California, and ended up placing 5th. And so when you have some success at something, you want to do it again. And I don't know how many competitions I've competed in now, but I have all sorts of different stories, and I could waste all day talking about them. But one of them I named Iceman, and so that led us to the Fallon Naval Facility, where Stacy and I got to watch a bunch of Top Gun fighter pilots fly by. We ended up in the Top Gun flight tower with the commander, and then I had another little mare named Diamond, and I said, she's my Diamond. She's a rough, uncapped Mustang. I have 100 days to polish her up and take her to town, and she'll be my gem. And that was the first Mustang I ever ended up winning on. And so each of them, like Isidro says, all of them. All of them have a different piece of the puzzle that they teach you along the way. And so I look back at all of our Mustangs. They're scattered all over the country, and one of them's in France. And so by adopting these Mustangs or training these Mustangs and getting them to the point where they have success with other owners, and that's just kind of neat to see. Now you look across the country, we have one in Florida, Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, all western states, Nebraska, and so it's like, we kind of put our stamp on these Mustangs and they're all over the place. And so, but each one teaches you something new and is just a memory when you look back at it. So I mean, that's why I always tell people, go adopt a Mustang and then find somebody that's going to help you have the success that you want to have. And so there's plenty out there. It ain't going to happen yesterday.
Before Ann says something, I want to say tomorrow morning, we're going to show a film about a Mustang that's in France that competed in the German last year,
Makeover.
I think. Yeah, so it came from here to France, so it's called the Step Aside. How cool is that?
Well, I have a little bit different journey. I grew up in the Midwest, and I was a preacher's kid, so we didn't live on a farm. And I laid on that couch on Sunday morning watching my friend Foot and Roy Rogers and Fury, and y'all probably don't know some of those names. That dates me. But I always wanted a horse. I just always wanted a horse. And of course, you know, when you watch those shows, you want that wild Mustang that's out there in the pasture and stuff. And so as I got older, I got really involved in some of the activist groups. And I was pretty involved in one group that was fighting for them to stay wild and not to have gathers. And that's actually what I was fighting for. And I promoted them, and I believed everything I was told. And then in 2008, my husband and I competed in the Extreme Mustang Makeover after going to the one in 2007, the first one. And I said, let's try this. And I let them know I was going to do it. And they weren't really for it, but they said, go ahead and try it and see what these people are doing. So I went into it that way, not wanting these Mustangs adopted and gathered, because I wanted them to stay free in the wild, not having any idea what it was really like in the wild. And so we competed, we learned a lot, and by the grace of God, I had a wonderful judge by the name of Ken McNabb, who enlightened me a little bit about the wild horses and the need for gathers and the need for the Bureau of Land Management to manage them. And I came full circle and had realized that many of the things I'd been told and that I believed weren't really the truth. And now I'm grateful because of what I do for Forever Branded with education and outreach. I'm grateful to have been out in the wild many times, and I realized that freedom has many faces. And all of us will probably say, our Mustangs are pretty free in the pastures and in the corrals, having their hay every night and plenty of water. And that's how I feel mine. The Mustang I would say stands out to me the most, and we've had quite a few, but in 2015, I was blessed to adopt Shakoma, a 3-year-old Appaloosa from Divide Basin, and he was with the checkerboard gather. Now, I'm very proud of gathering to own him now and of adopting him because I fought against the checkerboard adoptions. And I fought hard to not have gathers in the checkerboard area. And if you don't know about the checkerboard land, you Google it and find out what checkerboard land is, because there's many Mustangs on it. And it's very controversial right now. But because I had fought against those gathers, here I was getting to adopt one and bring it home. And he's taught me a lot. And he's an amazing horse. Shakoma means feather. His little white mark on his forehead looks just like a feather. And we learned a lot from him. And all of us will say that. And we want that for y'all too. That's why we're here, to help you and to help educate you. And all of us, no matter where you live in the country, we all know people across the country. Get in touch with us, they can help you. Mustang community and the Mustang family are very giving. Doesn't matter if you're in a competition, competing with each other, or you're at home, you pick up the phone or you send us a message or an email, we'll try to get you help. If you're wanting a Mustang, we're gonna help you. Even if you're not, we're gonna help you. So, I don't know if there's any other questions.
I definitely want to encourage people to try doing competitions. You may mentally think, oh, I don't like to compete, I don't need to win a prize, but I will say that in any of these, we've done a lot of these competitions. I did both of Matt's this year. That they challenge you to improve your horsemanship to a degree and level that you couldn't get otherwise. I had been training horses for, gosh, 15, 20 years before I did my first Extreme Mustang Makeover. And I learned more in that competition than I had in that time frame. Like it's like, it pushes you, it challenges you. It's kind of like it's blood, sweat, and tears. It'll break you down and build you up. It really gets you deep, dig deep down to figure out what your issues are, because they will bring it out of you, because they are a reflection of you. And so I highly encourage people to do these, to do like the branded bonanzas, we used to call it something else. We used to put them on as well. And the people that, would go through those, it's transformative, and I highly recommend it. And it's, anybody can do those. Anybody can compete in hand. Literally anybody can do that. So if you're passionate about horses and about learning and improving your horsemanship, I challenge you, anyone who has done these competitions, challenge you to do one.
And they have it in hand as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes, so anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it, and it's a great experience. I highly recommend it.
I tell people a lot, sometimes when you're around Mustangs, you might want to wear an allergy mask because they're very contagious. Kind of like Lay's potato chips. When you have one, and you want two, and you want three. And then you see that adorable burro over there. It's like, oh my goodness. So. Any other questions?
Thank you all.
If you don't mind, just one more time, go through and say, how can people find you if they want to learn more about what you do?
If you can also say, how can people adopt these babies, what they need to do, that they need to go on the BLM website, because people are already asking.
The yearlings?
Yeah, the yearlings. So they have.
Yeah, Lisa,
you,
come up.
You can just say that they have to.
Well, I'm Ann Souders with Forever Branded. We have a booth here. You can find us at foreverbranded.org. We're on Facebook and Instagram. We're also doing a free giveaway, and you can learn about that on our website and on the Facebook page. Message us. You can message me anytime. I'm on Facebook also, and we will help you do anything we can to find out about Mustangs, find out about all these competitions and places to go to find one, and help you get more knowledge about what you need to know to adopt a wild horse.
I'm Matt Zimmerman with Forever Branded as well, and so feel free to reach out to any of us and we'll get you in the right direction and then get you the right Mustang.
At Manroe, Mustang Champions, go to mustangchampions.org or one of our competition websites, Mustang Classic 2025.com or Mustang Challenge 2025.com. Learn what it takes to compete. Go adopt your Mustang and come compete.
On the hindsight, I wish we had picked a shorter name, because I say this to go to Isidro Espinoza horsemanship.com, and it's just really long and it sounds really complicated. It's not. It's Isidro Espinoza horsemanship.com, and that's where you can find all of our programs and our training toolbox. It's called the Perpetual Training Toolbox. Pick that name because for me, you never stop learning, you never stop training. And so is where you can find us. Our sanctuary is Dos Lomas Wild Ranch. In English, Dos Lomas Wild Ranch. So Isidro Espinoza horsemanship.com. So it sounds more eloquent when he says it. So, but yeah, that's where you can find us. And hopefully we can help more people in more listeners. Oh, and Lisa wants us to tell you how great you. So I guess there's some yearlings here that are getting gentled. There's 6 yearlings here getting gentled by some awesome trainers. And do you want them to, can they
Go to the
online?
BLM website and fill out the adoption form.
So if you go on to the, actually I think if you Google online corral, that's probably easiest, and then fill out that adoption form, get approved, and you'll be able to adopt some yearlings that are getting a great start this
On
weekend.
Sunday.
On Sunday, tomorrow.
Nice.
And then feel free to come by today and also tomorrow. So this is going to be going on today and tomorrow as well. So come stop by. It's at the Sheriff's Posse Arena. Bernalino Sheriff's Posse down here in New Mexico. Come on by.
Cool. Thank you.